Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome to my channel, A Card Day's Work. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new video. If you're interested in card making, paper crafting, and more, I'm always here posting tips and tricks and new card videos, so definitely consider subscribing if you're not already. To get started with today's video, we're just going to be making a few cards using some Simon Hurley Create backgrounds. I wanted to show some quick and easy cards that you guys can make. They come together super quickly and they're really simple, but they still look really nice when they're finished. I have started off by using a couple of Distress Oxides, but you can use whatever kind of ink you like, whichever one you have or prefer here. What I've done is smushed the ink pad directly onto the stamp, and then I go to another color. You can do solid colors too here if you'd like, totally up to you. Mix and match, change the colors up, and do whatever you're gonna do, whatever looks nice to you, but you get kind of a 2-for-1 deal with this technique. So you put the ink directly on, apply your colors. When you are overlapping the colors, I do like to kind of, as Jennifer McGuire says, cha-cha the stamp back and forth, kind of like an up and down motion, so that you don't get a really harsh straight line of where one color changes to another. And then you'll notice here that I do get some of the other colored ink on my ink pad, but this is totally okay. All you have to do is just take a paper towel or a cloth or something, wipe off the pad until that ink on the top comes off. It's not going to contaminate your ink pad as long as you wipe it off. It won't get into the ink pad and ruin it or anything like that, so don't worry. Go ahead and put a piece of paper or cardstock, whatever you have, directly onto your background once you've got it inked up. I like to lay a paper towel over top of that and smush it and smooth it down just so that I get a nice even impression and my hands don't get all dirty. But if you're not worried about getting messy, I mean, you could totally skip the paper towel. That'd be fine too. You could also probably use a brayer to roll over top of this and get really nice smooth results as well. So maybe try that. But for the second one, then all you do is remove your background that you first stamped. That one's done. Set that aside. Then get a spritzer or water bottle, spray the background a few times to get that ink wet and moving again, and then layer another piece of cardstock directly on top, and you get a sort of lighter, more watercolor effect. It looks really pretty. It's a lighter effect, and you get 2 cards for 1. I'm always a fan of that. For the next one, we're going to be just doing some ink blending. So I've used 3 different colors here of Distress Oxides. Again, though, you can use whatever colors you want. The Simon Hurley inks would be great for this as well, as they do blend really well and react with water. The only thing for this one is that you are going to use a ink that reacts with water. Don't use something that is non-water reactive, because for this next part, you're going to want to make sure that the water can move and be lifted, or else this technique won't work. Once you've got your ink blending done, go ahead and pick a background stamp. I picked this really gorgeous floral one. And if you have questions about the supplies that I used, I'll have everything linked down below for you. But all I did is take the perfectly clean stamp, spritz it with water, and then flip my ink blended background right into that stamp, smush it down the same way I did with all of the other ones, and then pull that background off. And you can see up there at the top, it's lifting some of that color and doing that oxidized look to it. And it looks really amazing. I'm super excited about how that turned out. Then we do the same thing with the second one. Just put another piece of cardstock directly in there, and then you get that second pull. It's really pretty, and actually I think that one's my favorite. And just like that, all 6 of our backgrounds are done. They took no time at all, and now it's time to go ahead and assemble the cards. I decided to keep them fairly simple. I used a bunch of different sentiments from one stamp set. Again, I'll have everything linked down below for you in case you want to check anything out. But all of these sentiments came from the same stamp set, and I'm just using my mini MISTI to go ahead and put them in place, making sure that I can restamp them as needed. I just love the way that those look. I decided not to do the exact same thing because some of the backgrounds were a little more busy and didn't have lighter areas where I felt like I could stamp something. So I did go ahead and use a piece of colored cardstock here to stamp some other sentiments on. And then I did also off camera do a little bit of heat embossing where I put a sticky ink, poured on some white embossing powder, and then melted that powder in the shape of the stamp set just because it sticks to that ink. And then I was able to get a really pretty sentiment on a black piece of cardstock where otherwise you wouldn't have I've been able to see that. So I'll add that to my next cards as well. But I am really happy with the bright and cheerful look of these ones. They kind of remind me of like cherry limeade or something. Very summer feeling to me. And I really, really like those bright, happy colors. So You Make Me Smile was the perfect sentiment for those ones. And I'm just going right along and attaching everything to the cards all at once. This made it go a little bit faster. Here you can see those, the heat embossed panels, sorry, that I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and plop those right on, and I think these look absolutely gorgeous with these backgrounds. And it's awesome how different each of these cards look, even though we made them all at the same time, and some of them were made from the same background stamp and the same colors of ink, and they just look so amazing and so different. All right, so what I'm doing here is just trimming off those little tails. You could use a pair of scissors for this as well, but I figured I had my paper trimmer, so why not use it? But yeah, just cutting off those little excess pieces there. They were a little bit longer than my original card panels here. And then once I finished with that, I did go ahead and mount each and every one of these on a piece of white A2 sized cardstock, or a card base, I should say, that's made out of the Simon Hurley Stark White cardstock. That stuff is super sturdy and really easy for card bases. And here's a look at the final cards, you guys. I hope that you love these super quick and simple cards and that you're inspired to whip a few out yourself. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I will see you guys in another video really soon.